In this video today I want to talk to you about sacred space, and the reason why is I actually take my sacred space for granted, and I don't often teach about it because I guess it's become a part of my life where it just is. But what is really important, and this is one of those ones that it may upset people and make you feel down, or it may inspire you, empower you to create your own sacred space. But it's very important that you have a place in your life or around you that is yours. Okay? Now, contradictory enough, this is what I consider my sacred space, as well as my office in my home. But, of course, this isn't mine, it's everybody's. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, when I'm around here, with this beautiful grass, this greenery, and even though there's a million flies flying around me, like, it's still very sacred to me, and it's still very loving because this is nature. There is no control here, there is no need to do or be anything. And as I'm saying this, one of my ancestors, a red kite, is flying and gracefully soaring over the top. So it's really important that when we think about ourselves, whether you're a mother, a father, whether you are a husband or a wife or whatever, and you've got responsibilities and people to look after and people to, should we say, consider, I believe it's always important to still look to your sacred space, all right? And still look to find the places in your life where you can simply be, where you can be by yourself, you can nourish yourself, you can love yourself, and you can give yourself that time. Now, for some of you who are watching, you will be like, oh, James, that sounds fantastic, but I can't do that. I have children, I have responsibility, I have work, and by the time the day is finished, I have no time to myself. Trust me, I understand that. It took me a long time to get to this point where I have my sacred space. But if that is the case, make it a goal. Right? Make it a goal. If you can give yourself half an hour a day where you literally completely switch off and do nothing, then in my opinion, you have respected and nurtured your sacred space. I'll give you another example. In my office, I just had a big clear out. So I cleared out all of my old books, files, and all these other things, and I cleared it all out, and it feels better, right? How bizarre is that? It feels better. Right, the space feels better, it feels cleaner, it feels more organised. And I sit there a lot, right? I sit there very often. I promise I don't smell, by the way. Right, I sit there very often. So to have that place organised and to have it in balance, peace and harmony, to me, is a very beautiful thing. So, and I know a lot of people enjoy to do this, put cushions around and drapes on the walls and candles and Himalayan salt lamps and crystals everywhere. And this is the beauty of it, because it's kind of like, in this third dimensional world, we do have to share our space with others, right? Perhaps in the higher dimensions, we're able to create our own space where there is literally not another soul in that area because we are our own architects, right? We are our own gods, our own goddesses, our own creators. Right? But in the third dimensional reality, we are co-creators. We create together, we exist together, we move together, we are in unity together, right? So try to find a place that is yours. Try to find a place that is yours and create it as yourself. And there's a beautiful native Indian and card and tradition, but I don't know, I don't know a full amount because my past life hasn't fully come through. There's a card about sacred space, and it is all about respecting your sacred space, honouring it, right? You must honour your sacred space, and sometimes it could even be your body, right? Your sacred space could be your body. And I was having a beautiful conversation with Lindsay, and we were talking about this, and it's like, when it comes to training and looking after your body, eating healthily and all of that, the key to doing it successfully and with love for yourself is by doing it for yourself and not for anybody else, right? I made a joke there and I said that I want to get my six-pack back, right? Not for anybody, but for me, because I like it and it makes me happy. It makes me feel good. I like to push myself to get it. So I'm now in the process of doing that. You know, I'm not doing it because I am self-conscious of myself, although, you know, perhaps there is a third dimensional part of myself that is a bit, you know, but the vast part of it is that I want to feel good. You know, I want to feel good in myself. I want to feel good in who I am, you know, and this is what we can do for everybody. And it goes back to the same thing. You see, if there is a man or a woman who is on the larger side, if you feel good, there is no one else that can take that away from you, right? No one. If you look in the mirror, this is to do with your sacred space, and for yourself, you say, I'd like to lose a few pounds, or I'd like to lose a bit of weight, or I'd like to, you know, do this or do this here. If that's the case, and you're doing it for yourself, then you found the key. You found the solution that you were looking for. Because you're not doing it for anybody else, you're doing it for you. You know, thousands of hours in the gym I have spent punishing my body and pushing it to its absolute limits. Why? Because I felt alive. I felt powerful. It was my sacred space. I could change it. I could create it. I could mold it into how I wanted it to be. Because it was my way of expressing myself, of nourishing and learning about James Malins, you know? So your sacred space within, your sacred space without, try and find it, right? Try and find it. Maybe you know, you have a spare room that's maybe left open, and maybe you can gut it all out and get rid of all the stuff in there, and then have just the most beautiful setting for your things and for your energy and for you. Okay, because this is very important, and not necessary, but very important, because it's a beautiful way of learning more about yourself, exploring, discovering, remembering. Okay, so just remember that this space can be for you. Like everything, it's not necessary. Okay, excuse me, it's not necessary. You don't have to do it, but it can benefit you massively. Why? Because you get time to yourself. You get time to explore yourself, right? Who is James Malins? What does he want to do? Why is he here? Why is he doing what he's doing, right? Talking about myself in third person. You know, what's his actions? Is he a loving guy, or is he something else? You know? I ask myself these questions because it's important. This is how we evolve. This is how we move forwards. You know, and one beautiful thing that Lindsay said, and I won't take credit for this, is absolutely hers, and you can check out her video on her page and profile, is that she said that ascension isn't a destination, it's already within. And I think that's the most profound thing ever. In a third dimensional sense, perhaps there is this idea of a linear destination, but in a higher sense, she's absolutely right. So, some things for you guys to think about today, and I hope this kind of gave you a perspective. And listen, if you find it really difficult to find your sacred space or to love and nurture that, then have a think. Could you buy yourself a shed, right? A wooden shed? Could you make it up and put beautiful tea lights in there and fairy lights around it and have it as a beautiful sacred space for you? Or do you have any spare rooms or just anywhere? Or can you go somewhere else? Maybe out here, right? Where I am, maybe there's a sacred space where you can just find it's out the way and it's just for you. But sacred space, it's important. And always try to respect your own sacred space first, and then ask other people to do the same, because it's yours and that's your right. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate you. Take care of yourselves. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.